short, I think people get tired, right? After lunch. No? Maybe not you. I have to think all of these people, not only you. Include myself. Okay. We say the opening prayers. Open prayers, prayer of the four boundless qualities. May all sentient beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and cause of suffering. May they never be parted from this land bliss that is free from suffering. May they remain a state of equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all sentient beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be parted from this land bliss that is free from suffering. May they remain in a state of equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause apart from this land bliss that is free from suffering. May they remain in a state of equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. Verse 5. Accept the loss on oneself and give the victory to others. Whenever someone out of envy treats me unfairly with scolding, insults, and more, may I accept the loss upon myself and offer the victory to others. Dagla yenjin chakdoki hikarla so mrikpa junka ringi lemba tang jarka yen lambar sho. Okay, do you remember these last two lines of this verse? Geshe Chakawa had been following Geshe Sharava, right, for 6 years. So he practiced these instructions throughout his life. So this is a very difficult practice for ordinary people. Very difficult. Because so may I accept the loss upon myself. These last two lines offer the victory. Oh, this one. Okay, be mindful. The last two lines, may I accept the loss upon myself and other, the victory to others. This one, I think it's very hard to practice. For example, this means like I did not steal something, but someone accused me like of theft, or someone is blaming me for something I did not do. etc. So it means like I accept to lose myself and offer the victor, loss, right? Loss, the victor to others. So in that kind of situation, what do? It will be very difficult to offer the victory to others. That's why I'm saying, like, for ordinary people, this, for maybe not Chakawa, he practiced this for 6 years. But for us, it's maybe very difficult. In Tibet, in the past, there was a great master who was in prison for 6 years due to someone's, jealousy. He didn't do anything wrong, but so he went in prison for 6 years, and but instead of being upset, he said, "This is my own karma," and sort of that is this, like he offered the victory to these people, and for him, no problem. He faced the situation with very peace and very understandable, the situation. And this means also, like, another example that we all familiar with, the Milarepa, right? In his last year, when Geshe Tsakpoba, his name is Tsakpoba, offered very poisoned yogurt to Milarepa out of his jealousy, because Geshe Tsakpoba was very, like, intellectually, he was very, like, scholar, Buddhist, teacher, like that, but no meditation experience, and Milarepa became very famous, all over in Tibet. So this Geshe, like, very jealous, so he wanted to kill him. So he offered, this very famous story. Offered poison yogurt, Milarepa, and of course Milarepa, he was that time, like, he was 18 enlightenment at that time, so he viewed everything as illusions. This is so he drank the yogurt. So he knew, actually, he told this lady who gave him yogurt, poison yogurt, and I know this is jealous from the Geshe Tsakpoba, but actually my activity of Dharma is it's finished now, so I'm ready to go. So so he drank yogurt, and he passed away. Like that kind of, offer victory to others means, can we do that? It's very difficult. So in this kind of situation, it is difficult to practice. We say in peaceful times, and when we can enjoy, in Tibetan we say "Tonra nimi tu tse chupazup jingen togdawatse tamarwa," means like when we have very good situation, peaceful, and when we enjoy sunshine, when we are full of stomach, we have good lunch, and everything is going well, then everyone seems to be very good practitioners. Right? We seems like we have no mental afflictions at all. Right? It's very easy. But as soon as difficulty arises, we forget our practice, and then we become very like ordinary people, So Dharma shouldn't be, like Dharma practitioners, all kinds of situation. Baba Rinpoche said, right? All kinds of situation we're supposed to be like handle all kind of situation, good or bad, you know. So apart from which always say, you know, to overcome this kind of difficulty, you know, you need to cultivate bodhicitta and maintain sort of a pure vision on in our mind. But it's hard. But if you know we you know practitioners can continue to practice in that kind of situation, then you know we will definitely eliminate. Why we can't practice this? Because I think ego, you know. But if we practice bodhicitta, you know, continually, and we will definitely eliminate this ego clinging to the self, and quickly achieve in, you know, extremely high spiritual path. So I remember that His Holiness Kanchen Jigme Pancho said, in order to benefit yourself in the long term, the pith instruction is to benefit others in the short term. And I thought that was really, really good one. So I never forget it. So therefore, we should try to dedicate all our merits and victories and peace and happiness to others as much as we can. And right now we have to start, you know, if we try to do this in slowly like this then, you know, become a habit, you know, then slowly we can do this verse, we can do this practice. Generally, when people have a very strong and heavy negative karma, then people try to hurt us. But when we, you know, at that situation, that kind of situation, when we open our mind with bodhicitta, it will be easy for us to what do you call it, tolerate harm from others. Bodhicitta is actually amazing. If you practice more and more bodhicitta, when you have this kind of situation, very understandable, you know, very easy to, you know, calm your mind. Sometimes dzogchen practice hard, that kind of situation. Bodhicitta is better. So we, the Kadampa masters in the past, they really put the value on these two lines of this verse, you know. They always, you know, offer victory to others, this one. Even like my time, you know, like during, you know, Tibet, you know, these teachers, amazing. They always serve others, and because of their lots of bad circumstance due to, you know, this government, you know, Chinese, so they had a very difficult time all the time. They always say things they never did, but they always remain very calm and humble, and so if you copy them, sometimes my teachers say you should write down this last two, the verse, the last two lines of this verse. You write down on a piece of paper, and then you put it somewhere, very noticeable place in your whatever, your house, whatever. It reminds yourself from, time to time. Oh yeah, when you see it, you remember it. Very important. Otherwise, we forget, right? We forget. Sometimes we don't have capacity to practice. Sometimes we do, but we forget. So it will definitely great help to your practice. To me, it's very difficult, this verse. I always think this is very hard. Like when, as I said, when everything's situation, everything's good, then no problem. But something difficult, then it's very hard. But I think this verse, this instruction is very powerful, very profound, because that's why Chakava, the first time he saw this text on the pillow, and he opened it, and then he saw these 2 lines of this verse, and then he thought, this is I want to practice. This is the antidote to my ego, the selfishness. So, that kind of, from the, when you think about biographies of these Kadampa masters, we can really see how sort of virtuous their mind were, and how pure their conduct was, So if we read more of their biographies, like, Pater Rinpoche, like Dromtönpa, Atisha, like this kind of people, you have to read their biographies. It gives you enthusiasm and inspires you, your faith, and especially it helps your faith in Dharma practice will really increase. That's why read biographies is very important. And also, when you read their biographies, and it gives you enthusiasm, and then will be, like diligence, I have to do this, I have to practice how they did practice diligently. So, so it's very important. So that's we can carry sort of ourselves wholeheartedly onto the path of mind training. Also in reference to these last 2 lines of this verse, Shantadewa says that it is very important to examine your motivation when you offer the victories to others, to make sure it is infused with the bodhicitta. Otherwise, you're going to lose, the victory. If you have a bad motivation, there's nothing. But if you have a great motivation and then offer your victory to others, wow, that is amazing accumulation and virtues. They're like, usually, if you can do this with pure motivation, that is the best purification meditation. We practice 100-syllable mantra 100,000 times, but if you do this like at one time, short period of time, with a great motivation, offer victory to others, your negatives purified there. Really, I think. Otherwise, we practice hundreds of them, and thinking, what should I cook or dinner or tomorrow? Then we say this verb, it's not sure how much you purify, right? Even though it says recite the mantra is very, very good, but motivation is the key. That's why bodhicitta is important. It's not really, Dharma practice is not how long you practice. The benefit of Dharma practice is, like your quality. Within a short period of time, like Pater Rinpoche, and when there was a great Khenpo, And he always requested nature, the pointing out instruction, the nature mind to Bapta Rinpoche all the time. Bapta Rinpoche, yes, yes, I will give you, no problem. He didn't give right away. And then many times he requested, this the teaching. And then one time Bapta Rinpoche was like a Dzogchen monastery, and he was outside and lay down like this. And then this Khenpo was like copying. He just like stayed next to him and lay down like that. And Bapta Rinpoche said, hey, can you see the sky? There is a moon. And then this Khenpo said, yes, I see the moon. And then Bapta Rinpoche said, what is the end? What is the can you see the end of moon? And then through that, he recognized that nature mind. Bam, that's it. So it's like period, very short time. If you have very like karmic sort of that connection, and if you practice correctly, very short time you can purify, all this very strong and heavy negative karmas. So I think not how long you practice, but the way you practice, your quality practice dharma is very important. So even within like 1 minute, you practice very purely, everything based on your motivation. That's why bodhicitta is so important. Okay, and then that's that. Verse 6, view those who harm us as spiritual teachers. This all is so hard, I think. Even when someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes harm me very unfairly, may I view that person as a true spiritual teacher. This is also like every one of us might run into a situation like this, right? There is a person that we have helped with many things, but instead of reacting to us with what do you call it? Like gratitude, and this person harms us, even though we helped him many ways, many times. So what should we do with this situation? I have interviews all the time. People ask me, I help this, but always harm me. They don't know what to do. The right answer is here, right? What should we do in with this situation? So according to this Langri Thangpa's PT instruction, if we can, we should regard this person as true spiritual teacher. And also we should, according to this PT instruction, I'm not saying I have this quality, but according to this PT instruction, we should recognize this opportunity to practice patience. So this is genuine Dharma practitioners, genuine Dharma practice. But to most of us, this is something very difficult to achieve, I think. And it's similar, and then the 37 practice of Bodhisattva, it says, even if one I have lovingly cared for like my own child regards me as an enemy, to love him even more as a mother loves a sick child is the practice of a bodhisattva. So the Kadam masters say that there are many ways that people can be our teachers. So, even things like, sickness and unfavorable circumstances and all this, like people try to harm us and our teachers. Because they said, Kada Master said, if you have this kind of teachers, you can learn something from them and you can change your attitude. But usually, like we expect people whom we have helped a great deal to be very grateful, and if they react to us without gratitude, we get angry. Of course, right? It makes sense. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's like, for example, like when I think about these verses, this shloka in Tibet, this slogan, this verses, it's like people we helped and then people try to harm us. It's like you have cooked a delicious, very nice meal for your friends, and then you bring it to this people, this person, whatever. Then your friends, take a big mouthful, and then this food, and food is hot and it burns his tongue, and then your friend will say, it's your fault, it's your fault. And then he get angry at you because you cooked this and now burn my tongue. It's your fault. Like that, right? People we help and people don't understand on their fault. And then they blame us, right? So these are such bad manners, So they are so ungrateful. These people, these people don't see anything wrong with his or her ungrateful manner. They don't see it. They don't see. So the thing is, we need to understand as a Dharma practitioner, these people are very lay people, like they don't understand Dharma, they don't understand practice, they have any experience with practice. So the thing is, we are actually better than them. So that means like we should control the situation. So there are so many people who are really ungrateful for the kindness with others, show them, But these masters, Kadampa teachers said that to all of these unfortunate people, we should speak kindly. Remember, I said Atisha. He had three pithy instructions, very, very strong. So we should, Buddha also said, these people, like unfortunate people, you should speak very kindly and compassionately, try to be helpful and stopping them from this kind of anything negative, their behavior. So you should try to slowly change their behaviors, change their, manner like that. So because they're very ignorant, right? These people are very ignorant. They make very bad karmas always, all the time. So we should have a compassion to all these negative people. So that's why we should offer victory to others, means like we should understand their negative karma, and so that we should try to change their attitudes. So like that, and so that this practice related to practice, the patience, tolerant. Chakawa, I think Chakawa said in his 7-point mind training, Chakawa said, I have something, but I think this is Chakawa. When beings and the world are filled with evil, transform all misfortune into the path of liberation. Is this Chakawa? I think 7-point mind training, right? Yeah. And also he said, like, meditate on the great kindness of all. Do you remember this? Meditate on great kindness of all. So So in Tibetan, this group of like slogan is known as lamchir, and we call the lamchir. Lamchir means like all these problems, should be transformed into our path. Chair, lam the chera, onto carry into our path means with exactly the same thing. What I'm saying here. So that's very important, right? So the practice, like how do we meditate in situation where we are happy, and situation when we are unhappy. Very important to understand, like how do we meditate, how do we practice. So this is Tibetan called lamchir. This is meaning of carrying the practice onto the path, right? So if we have good instructions on how to carry obstacles onto the path, very important for practitioners. This is like, if you have this kind of practice, if you have these instructions, then no matter how many difficulties come upon us, they will simply clarify our practice. And as a Dharma practitioner, like we have lots of obstacles. That's just how it is, because we have this very strong negative karma, so try to purify all of this. We have lots of obstacles. So that's why in Tibet, this lamchir is very important. All these obstacles transform practice onto the path. We need to know how to do that. So this mind training teachings will exactly give us these instructions. Otherwise, we have lots of obstacles for Dharma practitioners. So, so the mind training teaching is so important. And also, like this mind training teachings say, it's important that we have a bigger view and become more sort of open-minded through practice. This mind training, this lojong. Sometimes we do good things for others and make them happy. Because of that, we ourselves become happy. And at other time, it is as if others hurt us, and they create difficulties for us. These sort of things all the time happen, right? All the time happens. So we need to really understand at that point how to deal with this situation. So when it happens, usually we do not know how to utilize that hurt in a positive way. So these PT instructions tells us that beings are the one who give us the great opportunity to put these teachings into practice. So teachers always say, like, for example, if we get angry at our friends, but then if we remember patience, our anger will go away. Almost that's the only best way to control this situation. Then we have the opportunity to learn how to be patient. So we all know it's difficult to be patient with this kind of situation. When I teach this kind of teachings, like the last verse, may I accept the laws upon myself and offer the victory to others. Like, I feel like I am a kind of hypocrisy, or I'm just saying like empty words, you know, because you know, if we encounter this really situation, I don't think we can see this person as our great teacher, or I don't think we can offer the victory to others, really, if we have that kind of situation. That's very different than today, right now. I can teach you these things, right? I can teach you all this Buddha's omniscient mind, all of these qualities, but that I don't have that capacity. That kind of like, I feel like I'm talking like very empty words. But the great Dharma practitioners, like Langri Thangpa, like Chakawa, Dromtönpa, they have this capacity. We know that. But I think we should do is, when we have these teachings, and at least we should remember these instructions when difficult situations arise. Even though like we don't have this capacity really to do it, but like for instance, something like about this verse, like offer victory to others. So something we have like this kind of situation, we should remember it. If we really can't practice, but we should just remember the verse, the you know, the teaching. It will help. It will help, definitely. I think it will help. So that's what we can do, and then slowly we can develop that capacity, right? Don't think like, never think like, oh yeah, this situation, I did nothing wrong, and so I'm you know, this kind of teaching, like offer the victory to others, it's like I don't think these teachings are like helpful, or you know, these teachings are useless. Never think that, you know, or never think like, how I can do this, you know, I cannot do this, it's not for me. Never think that. I used to think that when I received these teachings. Yeah, I can't do it. That's just I'm not there yet. So I just like kind of like, when my teachers teach all these things, like I just kind of try to think something else, and I really did not listen, actually, like very carefully, like okay, right now I don't have capacity, but how should I develop this kind of capacity? I never think that I should try to something else, and I try to think of something else. But now I think like, even though still like, unfortunately, I don't have this capacity, but I think at least I should remember, you know, and that's actually help, very, very helpful. So I never think it's not for me, I can't do this. We should not think that, okay? Because you know, our teachers always say, you know, have said, you know, we should never be discouraged by this kind of, you know, such a destructive things like we have done in the past, you know. Also, whatever good you should do, you know, to others, you know, never think that, you know, I can't do this, this is not for me. I'm talking like from my own experience, you know. So maybe you will think this, you know, this when you meditate on this, oh, it's so hard, I can't do this. But you can. Definitely you can. I think because we have good examples, you know, so we can. And I'm a little bit better now, because then when I was very young, when I heard these teachings, I think, you know, it's not for me. But now I think it's better. Yeah, I think eventually I can do this. So, you know, I think we should try to take these teachings seriously, and to examine our mind and develop the courage to continue practicing in non-selfish way, non-selfish way. So you understand what I'm saying? I always say the bodhicitta is very important. Do you understand why I say that? Because selfishness, that's the thing. Selfish. Selfish makes everything not Dharma practice. Become a not Dharma practitioner. So the antidote, selfish, to bodhicitta and dzogchen. That's the only we have antidote. Only two antidotes. One is bodhicitta, one is dzogchen. But dzogchen, you know, right? So in order to practice dzogchen, you have to prepare so many things. But bodhicitta, you don't have to prepare anything. You practice directly. If you want, right now you can practice. Right now you just read the books about bodhicitta. Also, my teacher always say, when you have no the pointing instructions, dzogchen teachings, even you can't read the books about dzogchen, But bodhicitta is very handy, It's very, very good. It's very important. Selfishness, very bad, I think. So that is why this mind training, the lobjongs are so important. Always try to continue, always do things non-selfish way. Non-selfish way. Non-selfish way and correct motivation, same thing. So, therefore, that's all. I mean, the great masters, these teachers, always say that, people who are difficult to deal with offers us a precious, offers us like a important, great chance to train ourselves to be loving, compassionate, and altruistic, all these things, generous and patient. So that is why they are like a precious and spiritual teacher. So that's why this verse means, they give us, like this very unpleasant people around us, very hard sometimes. But if we know how to deal with these instructions, then we will see as they're not negative people. We will see as this is great opportunity. So eventually we are very grateful because of you. I changed my attitude, my everything. So I had a good opportunity, and now I'm a very patient person. I'm a very compassionate person. I'm, selfishless person because of you. So that's why I think they think these people are negative. People are actually very precious, and spiritual teacher means like through them we can change our attitude, right? That's all. Attain enlightenment, not necessary this lifetime. If you have enough diligence, possible. But it's hard, right? That's okay. Before you die, you must have bodhicitta mind. That's for sure. You have to have. Otherwise, what is the point? Practice Dharma. That's why I always teach you this like bodhicitta and mind training, lobjongs over and over again. Over again, because we have to develop bodhicitta. Maybe not ultimate bodhicitta, but as at least relative bodhicitta. Make sure that you have relative bodhicitta. So that you will see, like if you are very, do things like non-selfish way, that means you have bodhicitta mind. So if you are more like selfish, or become a more like, only think yourself, ignores others, and that shows you have no bodhicitta mind, right? No bodhicitta mind, then nothing. All right, then now we're going to meditate for a few minutes. We're going to practice two things. Okay, totally letting go of self-grasping and upholding sentient beings with a deep understanding of their kindness. Two things. Because meditating on this wisdom is the antidote to self-grasping. Self-grasping. As I said, there is a slogan, right, for this meditation. Remember, it says like meditate on the great kindness of everyone. Great kindness of everyone means, remember, last I mentioned earlier, without sentient beings, no bodhicitta mind, no enlightenment, right? That's why sentient beings are very, very important. So that's why meditate on great kindness of everyone. So in order to meditate on this slogan, sometimes, like from my experience, like when I meditate, like sometimes I say the slogan from really my heart and think about sometimes meaning of this slogan. Meditate, this is from Chakawa, meditate on the great kindness of everyone, great kindness of all. What does that mean? What means like great kindness of everyone? Even like I don't have any relationship with so many sentient beings, but still they talk about kindness of every sentient beings. So you have to like understand the meaning of the slogan and then say the slogan and then gently return your attention to the things like to do for others and develop that good attitude in your mind more and more. At that point, you have a very strong desire and wish for others to be free from suffering, and then this strong desire is what we call great compassion, right? Great compassion. So you need to develop that strong desire more and more. Then you really want to, the first you have a wish, very strong desire, and then if you develop that more and more, then you want to act and help others. And so try to meditate like that, okay? And then commitment is so important. Always something that you have, like you feel like you developed, you have like good energy. Right away you should make a commitment, right? Make a commitment is very important. So this is how you practice. This is how you practice, meditate on the kindness of everyone, great kindness of everyone. So in order to do that, do not think about yourself. How can I, meditate, bodhicitta? How can I have a bodhicitta mind? So that is self-grasping, right? So when I say totally letting go of self-grasping means that always just think about others, like holding all sentient beings in your heart, and how can I help? Like that kind of things, and then just relax. And then you have like this another, your thoughts arise based on selfish mind, right? So then you have to like avert, remember, confront and avert. So that's selfishness. And then try to be a very kind and, okay, like that. Oh, that hurts me. So, okay, for a few minutes, do you understand the essence of this practice? Just totally letting go of grasping, self-grasping, and try to understand the great kindness of others. Try to think about the meaning of bodhicitta, how it is important in your life to accomplish in your life. So sometimes that's really helpful. So meditate on that for a few minutes.